Hi, I just want to talk about the Module 1 assignments for this class. The first assignment that you have is a discussion forum question, so you'll want to go on there and answer that first discussion. You're going to be talking about your experiences with testing, so go in there, talk about your experiences with testing, answer your peers, make sure that you answer all the parts of that question, and make sure you check out the due dates of when the initial discussion is due and when the responses are due. The second thing you need to do this week is make sure that you read the student contract and go ahead and hit the button that says that you have reviewed it. That's pretty quick and easy. You also need to find the student you're going to tutor. I've already talked about in the last video what this student, the parameters of this student, what they need, how old they need to be, what they need to, they need to be struggling readers, the things that will help you for this student. So I'm not going to go over that again. What you're going to do is create your own permission form. You're not going to use a Florida State College at Jacksonville permission form because this is not considered a field study course. Create your own and have the parents sign it, and so that I know that you have a student and that the parent has agreed to be with you throughout this course. Please add in there the name of the child. You can use a pseudonym if you need to, the age of the child, what day of the week you're meeting, what time of the week you're meeting, and also make sure that there's a line in there that that gives the dates of the entire course, so the parent knows that you'll be meeting throughout the entire course. Now, of course, if they go on vacation for 1 week, that's understandable, but we don't want them to leave for 4 weeks and have you start again with all this work with another student. So make sure the parent is aware of how often you will be meeting. The last assignment is called an assessment chart. And what you're going to be doing with this is when you're reading the required readings for this class, mostly in the Gillett text, you are going to come across so many different assessments. And your child may not be old enough or at the right stage of reading development to be able to take every single one of these tests. Or we may not even have the materials to give all these tests. But you still need to know about them and have a general idea of what they are. So what this is a graphic organizer for you to organize all the different information about these tests. I've actually already started one for you and put it into this week's course information. So go in there, find that template, see what I've done. I've added a couple of assessments in there, and then as you're reading and you see the name of an assessment, add it to the chart. Add any information that you can. You may not be able to add it all, but add what you can and get started creating that chart. And this will be due this week too. So you're going to turn in your permission slip and your assessment chart at the same time when you submit that assignment. So it'll be one assignment with 2 files attached. This assessment chart you are going to be able to use throughout this course. So every time you read, you're adding to it, and then I will collect it a few different times in the course. So keep adding to it. It will be a huge help to you when you're a teacher. You know, maybe your school will say, okay, we're going to be giving the DIBELS test today, and you're thinking, oh my gosh, the DIBELS test, I know I've heard about that, but what is it? I can't remember. Then you go back to your assessment chart, you look it up, and there it is. It's there for you. All the information is there. It tells you what it does, how it's tested, the materials, everything, and you're good to go. Another great use for this chart will be when you get to your midterm. Your midterm is going to come directly from this Gillett text, from information that you're putting into the chart and information that you're reading in the assigned chapters for this class. So taking good notes is going to help you a lot on the midterm because it is open book, open note. The assessment chart, I want to make clear, is not for the child you're tutoring. It is not specific to that child. You are putting all the assessments in there because not all of those ones will work for your child. So we're putting them all in there so you can have a good idea about these tests, whether you use them on this child or not. The last thing I want to make clear is that in this course, we are talking about assessments of literacy, assessments of reading. Now, you may have learned about other assessments in your other classes. We use a lot of educational jargon, and sometimes some terms are used and they mean 2 different things. For this class, when we're talking about assessments, you need to be talking about the ones that we're reading about in our books, that we're talking about in our modules. And um, so that means, like, for example, running records. I know you may have taken a class where a running record is a running record of behavior, where you're writing down everything that a child is doing, all the behaviors. That's not a running record of reading. So when you're reading about running records and you're adding it to your assessment chart, or when you're talking about it in some of your assignments for this course, we are talking about a running record of reading, and that needs to be clear in your assignments. I and that is all for this week. So please get in those things that are due. You've got the discussion board, the student contract, find a student permission slip, and your assessment chart. You're going to turn those in for this week. Pay attention to the due dates so you get those in on time, and that should be it. If you have any questions, great places to ask are in the questions for the professor forum and also by email. Thanks again, and have a great week.